Let's visit the small town in New York that is said to have inspired the holiday classic It's a Wonderful Life. Today we are taking a visit to Seneca Falls, New York. Welcome to Pop Culture Passport, your ultimate guide to quirky and cool destinations across the US. I'm your host, Beth Scalacci, aka the Roman Yeti, here to help you dive into the world of theme parks, uncover film and TV locations, and explore quirky museums, roadside attractions, and legendary venues that capture the heart and soul of this unique country. So grab your pop culture passport and let's discover destinations that resonate with your interest, not just with what's trending on social media. Are you ready? Let's roam! Welcome back. Today I want to share with you a recent trip we took to Seneca Falls, New York, to visit the It's a Wonderful Life Museum. Now, here is where I admit I am not a massive fan, or I should say was not a massive fan of the movie. And I love a healthy debate of whether it is even actually a holiday movie or just a movie that takes place during the holidays, similar to the Die Hard debate. But now I did find out that the movie came out on December 20th, 1946. So I guess I can concede to the fact that it is, in fact, a holiday film. So, why am I admitting this? When I saw there was a museum for It's a Wonderful Life, I was a bit skeptical, but now I am a total convert and really looking forward to watching the film this holiday season. So, what does this movie made in Hollywood have to do with Seneca Falls, New York? Well, that's exactly what I thought when I started looking for places to visit and saw this museum. So, after a little bit of research, I found my answer. Now, Seneca Falls is nestled in the Finger Lakes region of New York, and this charming town, and when I say charming, I mean it feels like it's straight out of the movie. It is said that director Frank Capra visited here before filming the movie and used it as inspiration for the iconic town of Bedford Falls. The connection between Frank Capra and Seneca Falls as the inspiration for It's a Wonderful Life is based on several compelling pieces of evidence. Sounds like we're going into a true crime, true crime podcast. Nope, still travel. But although Capra he's never officially confirmed it, I think it's safe to say it's the inspiration. So let's take just a deeper look at how Seneca Falls may have inspired Bedford Falls. So local lore in Seneca Falls claimed that Frank Capra visited the town in the 1940s while he was developing It's a Wonderful Life. It is believed that Capra stopped in Seneca Falls on his way to visit family in nearby Auburn, New York. While he was in town, he allegedly had his hair cut at the local barbershop and engaged in conversations with townspeople, absorbing the small town atmosphere. Now, the architecture and layout of Seneca Falls closely resemble the fictional Bedford Falls in the film. The town's main street, with its turn of century buildings, has a distinctively classic small town feel, which closely mirrors the backdrop of It's a Wonderful Life. Capra was known for creating films that celebrated the warmth and charm of small town America. And I mean, honestly, Seneca Falls embodies those ideas perfectly. Now, one of the most convincing connections is the resemblance between the Seneca Falls iconic steel truss bridge over the Cayuga Seneca Canal and the scene in the movie where George Bailey contemplates jumping off a bridge. In It's a Wonderful Life, George stands on the snow covered bridge in Bedford Falls, despairing over his life. Many believe that the Seneca Falls Bridge inspired that pivotal scene. Local legend even suggests that Capra heard the story of a man named Antonio Beccarelli who tragically jumped off that bridge in 1917 to save a woman's life, an act of selflessness similar to George's character. Now, Capra was also drawn to stories that highlighted the importance of community, neighbors helping each other, and the interconnectedness of small town life. Seneca Falls, with its rich history of community activism, it is known for its connection to the women's rights movement, which we'll talk about in a little bit. would have been an ideal place to influence Capra's vision of Bedford Falls as the community bound by shared values, kindness, and responsibility toward one another. Add all this to Rochester is mentioned in It's a Wonderful Life. In the film, George Bailey's brother, Harry, is offered a job in Buffalo after returning from college. However, during a celebratory toast at the Bailey household, someone remarks that George's friend Sam is working in Rochester. The mention of Rochester is one of the few geographical clues in the movie that places Bedford Falls in upstate New York, adding another layer of credibility to the belief that Seneca Falls may have been his inspiration for the town. Now, when It's a Wonderful Life came out, critics were divided on the movie. While some praised the film's heartwarming messages, others felt that it was overly sentimental or a little too dark for a holiday film. Commercially, It's a Wonderful Life underperformed at the box office. I think we've heard this story before, right? Remember, Hocus Pocus didn't do well? Well, despite its now iconic status, the film was not a hit upon its initial release. It actually faced really stiff competition from other holiday films, particularly The Best Years of Our Lives, which was a post World War II drama that resonated deeply with audiences at the time. Now, It's a Wonderful Life did get nominated for 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor for James Stewart, Best Film Editing, and Best Sound Recording. Despite these prestigious nominations, the film did not win any of the categories, losing out to The Best Years of Our Lives. It's a Wonderful Life became a beloved classic in the years that followed, largely due to television. In the 1970s, It's a Wonderful Life fell into the public domain, meaning television networks could air it without paying royalties. As a result, it became a holiday staple, playing on the TV every Christmas season. This exposure allowed the film to reach a wider audience, and its heartwarming message resonated more deeply over time. The movie's themes of community, hope, and the importance of one person's life has since made it quintessential holiday classic, transforming it from box office disappointment into one of the most beloved films of all time. First thing to share about the museum. I want to get into the museum and our experience there. And right now, it's actually in a temporary space, so when you walk in, it can feel a little overcrowded, a little overwhelming, because there's so much memorabilia. So, just keep in mind when you visit right now that it is a temporary space. But this museum was a little different than what I was expecting, but so delightful. So there were signs everywhere that let us know that there were really only 5 original props left from the movie. 2 pairs of Violet's earrings, which were on display in the museum, and then 3 vehicles which are owned by private people and not at the museum. So this meant that the items on display were similar to identical items used in the movie, but not the originals. And I just thought that was really nice piece of, to have that signage to just let us know that, you know, what was the real, what was not real, so you could understand. There was just so much memorabilia inspired by the movie. They had these cool ceramic buildings, they had these cool Lego built buildings of scenes. Um, there were cases filled with mementos and memorabilia from the stars of the movie. Like, each display was like a time capsule for that actor, and it really just showed how this movie and its actors are so beloved. So there was a shirt on display from Jimmy Stewart, and I expected it to be from It's a Wonderful Life. It was not. It was from Winchester 73. But like I said, this museum is really about celebrating the film and celebrating those in the film. So there was memorabilia from all parts of the actors' lives. And like I said, some of my favorite things were the Lego builds of sets and buildings from the movie. There was even one that had the gym that has the moving floor above the pool. Now, I did learn, fun fact, that that scene was actually shot at the swim gym at Beverly Hills High School, which is still in use today, apparently. And also, for my fellow movie location fans, the movie was actually filmed at the RKO Ranch in Encino, in Culver City Studios, La Canada Flint Ridge, and the Lamonda Park train station in Pasadena. So you can check those out for sure. Now, of course, there were a lot of bells on display. And as I mentioned, this was a temporary space, and the new plans look amazing. I can't wait to see it. They're looking to add a theater that will look like Hollywood Pantages theater, which is where the movie premiered. In addition, they're creating sets from the movies, including the drugstore, an interactive exhibit that recreates Standing Up to Potter, and many more. I'm really looking forward to seeing their vision come to fruition in a few years. Now, a couple doors down from the museum is the gift shop, and the store has a really cool photo op where you can pose with the "You Are Now in Bedford Falls" sign and other replicas from the movie. So it's really fun. Do not miss the gift shop. And as you leave that store, there's a bell hanging. Remember to ring the bell so an angel gets its wings. There is also a festival every December, which is very popular and sells out very quick. Um, 3 full days of activities. Some of the cast members, family of cast members attend. There's a parade and so much more. If you are a huge It's a Wonderful Life fan, this is definitely something for you to check out. Make plans for 2025 or 2026, whenever. It is sold out for this year. Um, but I have one last stop for you um, on our It's a Wonderful Life tour, and that was we went to the bridge. So this bridge is said to be part of the inspiration for the movie, and like I said, is where Antonio Vaccarelli gave his life to save someone who fell off the bridge, much like George Bailey did. It's such a beautiful dedication. People are there tying bells to the bridge, much like the locks in Paris. And again, it was just moving to see something that happened that, really happened and wasn't just movie make believe. So a few tidbits before we go. Like I said, the temporary location is until 2026, and that is located now at 76 Fall Street, which is their main street. It's open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And there's a suggested donation admission. Please pay it. Pay their $5 an adult to go in. It's so cool. The money's helping to go to the new new exhibit. And while you're there, like plan to spend the day there. I did not plan accordingly. We got a late start and we had some other things to do. But you can easily spend a day or more in Seneca Falls. There's just so many cool things, some pop culture. I always laugh. Come for the pop culture, stay for the history. But there is a women's right national historical park there. Seneca Falls is a major landmark in the history of women's rights in the U.S. The Women's Rights National Historical Park preserves the site of the first Women's Rights Convention, which took place in 1848 and marked, the pivotal moment in the women's suffrage movement. So you can visit the chapel where the convention was held, and it's a really cool area. There's a National Women's Hall of Fame, which is located in the historic Seneca Knitting Mill, and this museum honors women who have made significant contributions to American society in various fields. Artifacts, stories, and achievements of inductees that range from politicians and scientists to artists and athletes. So a little bit of everything there. And finally, another cool place you can check out is the home of Elizabeth Cady Stanton, who was one of the leaders of the women's suffrage movement. The house is part of the Women's Right National Historical Park, and there's tours that you can get into her life and her legacy and learn about her work, the challenges she faced, and her role in shaping women's rights in the U.S. So, like I said, go to Seneca Falls early, make a day of it. There's so much to explore. There's a bunch of restaurants on that street to check out as well. Um, I like I said, I didn't know what to expect from this one, but I really enjoyed our time wandering around Seneca Falls, and since we didn't see everything, I look forward to going back. One of the last things that I wanna share with you that I learned is that of Amadio Gianni, and he was the founder of Bank of America, and he was widely believed to have inspired aspects of George Bailey's life in It's a Wonderful Life. Now, his pioneering approach to banking and dedication to serving ordinary people, especially during times of hardship, really parallels George Bailey's role as the compassionate leader of the Bailey Building and Loan. So again, I had a really good time. I am a believer. I am looking forward to the movie coming out this holiday season and seeing it again. And I just if you're in the area, if you if you are an It's a Wonderful Life fan, you this is a must do. Maybe wait till they open if you're far away, if you're close. See it now and then go back. But it was an enjoyable visit, and, like I said, I'm looking forward to getting back to Seneca Falls at some point. Now, for this week's Yeti Pop pick, you probably have already heard this news. I had already had a couple episodes up when this news was came out, so I didn't get to do it earlier. But Disney posted a blog post. They didn't post it on social media that new planned Monsters Land will be taking over the area where Muppet Vision 3D currently is in Hollywood Studios. Now, this wasn't a total surprise, but it was definitely a disappointment. But I have a little hope given that this was Jim Henson's last project before dying, and there was a post from Henson Studios that gives me the feeling that Muppet Vision will live on somewhere. So it'll be exciting to see where that is. Maybe in Atlanta. Maybe they'll Center for Puppetry Arts that we highlighted in the spring will do that, which would be cool. But we did get in that same statement, we did get good Muppet news too, and that is that the Rock and Roll Coaster is going to be rethemed to Dr. Teeth in the Electric Mayhem Band, which I'm very excited about, even though I'll never go on the ride. I mean, we know that, right? I can be excited, but maybe they'll let me walk through the queue. I'll probably have to do that. But I have been pitching this idea to anyone that will listen, meaning pretty much my family. So I'm glad to see this happen. But like, how are you feeling about the changes? Like, let me know. Click on the send us a text link in the show notes and let me know what you think. And with that, we add another stamp to our pop culture passport. I hope this episode inspires you to get out there and explore all that is quirky and cool, even in your own backyard. Follow, download, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Tell a friend, leave a review if you like what we're doing. It really helps the show grow. You can also follow me on Instagram or Facebook. Just search for The Roaming Yeti. Keep roaming and finding your fun.